Hey everyone, Josiah Stickman here. During my channel break and even before that, I was really getting back into fan-made rap battles and viewing all sorts of new channels that I haven't seen before due to that. I recommend a lot of the ones I've watched since I like all of them, like Freshie Canal, Eddie FRB, Gaming Plush 64, Fight Marker, Commander Jacob, Mr. J, TPLE, Dilly, Snakebite126, and many more. All of the reoccurring voice actors do a great job too, not just including those aforementioned creators themselves, since they all do amazing voicing in their own battles and in other battles, with some standouts like Snakebite and Michael Stark, but also some voice actors across various battles like Garbage Gothic, Ozia, Freeset, Littleflex, Camp Steady, and many more, who all do phenomenal jobs at both their impressions and rapping at the same time. And there's also a certain rap battle reactor named Josiah Games TV who is great at what he does as well. He's one of my favorite reactors on YouTube by far. And today, aside from saying those shoutouts, I wanted to share my best rap battle matchup ideas because I feel like I kinda cooked with these. So what I'm gonna do is just name them off and explain why I like the idea and what the connection is. Simple as that. I've had most of these all stored in a notepad for ages, so in case they overlap with ideas you've seen before in Eddie's recent rap battle choice tourney from his community poll, or from other recommendations, it's completely coincidental. And keep in mind, a lot of these were meant for animation versus anything matchups, which is why a good chunk of them apply to those rules. I'll be going in the order of which ones I like and advocate for the most, but to be fair, I really like all of these ideas and would love to see them, so my rankings are pretty interchangeable. We got 11 to go through, so let's do this! Starting with... Number 1, King Orange from Alan Becker vs Thanos from Marvel. Starting off with my most wanted one I've always pushed for. Heck, this video was originally going to be all about explaining this one, but I changed it to be in this video with other matchups because I couldn't resist sharing them all. So this will likely be my longest explanation, so buckle up. As for what on earth the similarities could possibly ever be between these two colorful characters, not only are they villains from cinematic arcs and action-based series that got close to achieving their goals, but they're also both tall villains that tower over the heroes trying to stop them and have fairly understandable motives in relation to grief that made them seek an ultimate weapon to destroy/commit genocide on something, or to lessen something basically. Some other things they have in common was how they had armies and allies that helped them but also turned against them, Purple and Ebony Maw for King Orange and Thanos respectively. But they also have multiple scenes of taking full advantage when the heroes make a mistake. The infamous "you should have gone for the head" scene and Star-Lord screwing up the gauntlet removal come to mind for Thanos, and King taking Yellow Staff away in AVM Shorts episode 30 or defeating Green, Blue, and Yellow when they were distracted in AVM Shorts episode 25 come to mind for King Orange. And to answer something at least one person might ask or is thinking, no, I don't think King Orange coming from a series that doesn't have the character speak out loud would mean he can't be in a rap battle, since characters who don't have canon voices that were in rap battles have been given fitting ones, like Toothless and Toothless vs Pikachu. And this also applies to other characters I'll bring up later that don't have canonical voices as well. Sure, it's a bit of a reach, and even the hundreds of millions of people who know Alan Becker haven't seen season 3 of AVM Shorts, I still think this could really work and provide some great lines in a great battle. And I don't think it's too one-sided since King Orange is pretty dissable, even if he doesn't have as much screen time as Thanos. Number 2, Emmett from the Lego Movie vs Steve from Minecraft. My second favorite movie versus my second favorite game. Funny how that lines up. But anyways, I think this is a pretty fun matchup since Emmett is from a very great film and a pretty good but not as good sequel, and Steve is from a very great game, and both could represent Lego and Minecraft, which are pretty comparable in being very creativity and building heavy IPs that have gotten many spin-off things like games, extra games in Minecraft's case, and even movies and shows, since the Minecraft movie and show are confirmed, and obviously there are many Lego movies and shows, with even one of the characters from the Lego movie getting their own show. Both have had big impacts on a lot of people and things in the entertainment industry, and these representatives could make for a great rap battle. Number 3, Mario from Nintendo vs Kratos from PlayStation vs Master Chief from Xbox. This is the first of 2 three-way rap battle ideas I had. This is the most obvious console wars battle that could easily turn into a battle royale, but I think a battle of just these 3 could also work great on its own, since they've all been in battles before, have a lot to work with in terms of material, and I just so happen to enjoy most if not all of those aforementioned battles with them. So yeah, there's a lot of potential for these 3. Number 4, Wreck-It Ralph from the Disney movie Wreck-It Ralph vs Kid Rad from the Kid Rad webcomic. Now, this one features my most obscure pick yet, Kid Rad, but hear me out. Most of you already know who Wreck-It Ralph is, a great guy from one great movie, and Kid Rad is this really underrated retro webcomic by Dan Miller that has a lot of surprisingly deep moments and a really ahead of its time sense of humor, and I highly recommend it, and I've read it like 3 times. But, to get back on topic, as for what these two retro characters have in common that could make for a great matchup, both are sentient retro game characters with opposite situations, as Rad is a hero character in his game world controlled by the player, who gains life outside of his game in the events of his comic, and Ralph is a bad guy character in his game world who acts by himself without player input, who already has a life outside of his game. And they both go on adventures that end up culminating into them fighting a similar final villain who gained power in pretty similar ways. Of course, I can't say for Kid Rad because that's a massive spoiler, but you already know about Turbo. They both also discovered the internet, but we don't talk about what happened when Ralph did, but yeah, this could work really well. Number 5, Mau Mau from Mau Mau Heroes of Pure Heart versus Batman from DC. Honestly, this battle idea feels like a long overdue potential banger. Literally everyone knows about Batman and he hasn't really been in any good rap battles, and I would like to see him in more. But the Mau Mau fans, including me, need him to be in some more fan-made content again. He's such a fun character with a surprising amount of diss material if you've seen the show or the many videos about it. As for what these two have in common, both are either animal-related or just literal animal heroes, with serious demeanors and backstories both explaining why they became heroes and why they act the way they do. Both also have other heroes in which they train to become as great as them. A Doorbat for Mau Mau and Robin for Batman. Though Robin doubles as a protege and a sidekick, while a Doorbat and Badger Clops respectively fill both of those roles to Mau Mau in a sense. And speaking of Badger Clops, Doorbat, and Robin, all of them could and should appear in the battle as cameos because that would just be amazing. And lastly, Mau Mau was more comedic while Batman is played more straight, which may make this more one-sided to some, but you could still make this matchup work. I would love to see it. Number 6, Jevo from Deltarune versus Marx from Kirby versus Dimentio from Paper Mario. This is my other 3-way battle idea, and I think a 3-way powerful unhinged video game jester boss rap battle would be so cool. And I just said why it's a good matchup, so yeah. Of course, they all only have one major appearance in battle, so their diss material must be used sparingly and cleverly so as to not make anything feel repetitive. But if you're a good enough battle writer, which many rap battle creators are, it could go well. Marx does have more appearances than the other two thanks to Smash Bros. Ultimate and Kirby Star Allies, so that may or may not be a concern, but I just really love the idea of seeing them interact with one another, and I would be so happy to see what could be cooked up with them. Number 7, Charlie and Pim from Smiling Friends versus Mordecai and Rigby from Regular Show. This one just felt natural when I was brainstorming and would be absolutely hilarious to see, honestly. You all know what Smiling Friends is if you've been on the internet for the past few months, and Regular Show is super iconic in cartoon history and discussions. Both of these series' popularity is for good reason. They're great series. In case you don't fully get why I chose the matchup, both are duos from surreal shows with unpredictable, chaotic nature always present as they try to simply do their jobs amidst it all. However, Charlie and Pin have very opposite levels of worth ethic and activeness compared to Mordecai and Rigby, since the former two usually get their job done often and well, meanwhile Mordecai and Rigby are almost always slacking off, which you would already know if you're aware of both shows. We've seen battles with these series before, and more is likely to be on the way, but I feel like this specific pairing could lead to an amazing battle. And Mr. Boss or Benson stepping in, or really just any of the side characters from either show, would be super awesome, honestly. Number 8, Aerie from Cheesy HFJ's 1 versus Kane from The Amazing Digital Circus. In case you haven't seen my short about it before, I do in fact really enjoy Cheesy HFJ's object show called 1. It's a great subversion of typical object shows with a really emotional and engrossing story. And The Amazing Digital Circus is quite literally inescapable if you've been online this year or on the later end of last year. So I don't think I need to give much context to it aside from saying that I'm a fan of it so far. Now as to why I picked this matchup aside from these two being some of my favorite characters from their series, both are in charge of game related things and are oblivious to the harm they're causing and don't fully understand what the people they have power over want to leave. They also have polar opposite levels of energy and enthusiasm in their voices for what they do, which I would find funny if they were to interact in any context really, not just a rap battle. Now before we move on, two things. One, let's see what I did there. You would obviously have to wait for way more Amazing Digital Circus episodes to come out, or for the series to be finished, since 1 is complete and Eri is super dissable, both in comparison to Kane and when not comparing the two. And I also paired these characters together because of how similar their series are in a lot of ways. But before I explain that, I'll have to move on to my next matchup, which is number 9, Liam, or Backpack, from Cheesy HFJ's 1 versus Pomy from the Amazing Digital Circus. Yup, different characters, same series. Now, as I said before, I enjoy both series and the various characters in them, but to follow up on my statement from a couple seconds ago, the main reason why 1 and the Amazing Digital Circus can have various rap battle matchups is due to how similar both series are and their premise. I heard this from a video I agreed with that I can't find anymore, unfortunately, but basically both 1 and the Amazing Digital Circus feature multiple characters being stripped away from their normal lives, put into places they can't leave on their own accord, given new names in, and go on to do activities like adventures or challenges created by oblivious hosts, unaware that every character gains immense mental harm from the situation they're in. Pomy and Liam work well as a matchup due to both being the main characters of their series that are pretty openly not sane about what they go through, since both have moments of zoning out completely. More similarities between them could emerge as the Amazing Digital Circus continues, so much like with the previous matchup, we will have to wait a little bit for this to be way less one-sided. But this would be a great rap battle matchup once the time is right. Though I'd honestly see them becoming friends who relate to each other over the situations by the end of the battle. That could even be an interlude segment if this becomes a real battle someday. Who knows? I'd definitely watch it. Number 10, Blockhead from Michael Swain's Newgrounds series versus Yellow Guy from Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. I absolutely adore the Newgrounds menace known as Blockhead and everyone's favorite oblivious yellow puppy from Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. And putting these two yellow absent-minded characters who say very random things with very random habits and very random interests in a rap battle together would absolutely make my day. And I also just said their connection. Both got a lot to work with in terms of their series and characters given their history, and it would make for a very entertaining battle in my opinion. The only concern I have is Blockhead being too stupid to form a verse, but him accidentally forming one or accidentally dissing Yellow Guy is always a possibility. Yellow Guy has been in battles before, and Blockhead can in fact sing. Oh yeah, and both have sung before as well. Just Yellow Guy does it more often. Number 11, Chicken Nugget from the YouTube channel Chicken Nugget versus Nugget from Kindergarten 1, 2, and the upcoming 3. Last but not least, we got Chicken Nugget from that QC YouTube channel up against Nugget from the incredibly violent yet entertaining game series Kindergarten. Bet you didn't know I watched a former channel, now did you? Well, I find it pretty wholesome and enjoyable, as innocent as it looks on the surface, and I've always enjoyed watching playthroughs of Kindergarten, so I felt this would be a pretty good matchup that I would enjoy watching. As for why I chose the matchup, in case you couldn't tell, both are Nugget named and Nugget-loving simple-minded characters from series that have a lot of messed up moments underneath the seemingly innocent exteriors, though Kindergartens are much more frequent and much more violent. They also possess unfathomable amounts of power via being a demigod of chaos in Chicken Nugget's case, or wielding the power of Monstermon cards for the secret ending of Kindergarten 2 in Nugget's case. At the time of me making this, the Chicken Nugget lore is yet to be truly concluded and Kindergarten 3 isn't out, so we will have to wait a bit for more diss material as to not make the battle outdated if you were to make it now. But hey, I think it would be worth the wait. So yeah, that's the list! Currently the only character I would really enjoy to see in rap battles that I couldn't come up with good matchups for at the moment and off the top of my head is Anxiety from Inside Out 2, since I really enjoy her character and the movie she comes from. But hey, there's always other people's ideas. Speaking of, what do you all think of my rap battle ideas and what are yours? Let me know down in the comment section below if you'd like to. I cannot thank you all enough for watching me yap on and on and on about my silly rap battle ideas. And in terms of my next upload, it'll probably take me a while due to me being out of shorter term long video ideas at the moment. I'll still try to keep my channel active with shorts and community posts as I've said numerous times before, but I can't confirm that it'll be frequent since I do have to take breaks and have personal life stuff and school stuff and all that sort of stuff, you know. But I seriously appreciate your patience regardless. Thanks again for watching, thank you all for supporting me, and I'll see you all in the next video, whenever that'll be. And this is Josiah the Stick Man, signing out. Peace.